us to start our meeting officially. And I will read the invitation to a physical and virtual AGM meeting on the 3rd of April 2022. The DCO, Kasarani Region, Nairobi. Dear Sirs, Madam, we wish to notify your office that the annual general meeting for the Ameka Sacco Limited will be held on 3rd April 2022 at MCK, Ruaraka Church, starting at 2 p.m. The agenda for the day: prayers, to read the notice calling for the annual general meeting by the Honorary Secretary, recording any apologies, reading and confirmation of previous minutes and matters arising, to receive and adopt chairperson's report, to receive and adopt supervisory committee's report, presentation and the adoption of audited financial statement for the year 2021, to receive and adopt treasurer's report, invited guest speech, appointment of auditors for the year 2022, elections, resolutions, A and B. We want to record the apologies. Apologies, Kadri. Yes. Apologies, you need to mention and name them so that we can record. Yes, Franklin. Choi Moremi. Any other apology? Yes. Sorry? Kenneth Mutuma. Sorry? Maureen. Kedi. Faith Kendi Moredi. Dorothy Karemi. Gregory Moredi. Any other apology? Yes, Reverend has just left. Martin. Grace? Any other apology? Kadri, can you check, Priska? Can you check on the forum whether there are any apologies that have been said through there? Any other apology? So a paper will be going around for the members present to write down your names. And I also want to know whether we have non-members in this meeting. Do we have anyone that is not a member of the Ameka Sacco and is coming to join the meeting? Yes, this is our auditor, and we have the two guests from the DCO office. Apart from those, do we have any other visitor present? Okay, so we proceed. I'll take you through the last here 2021 AGM meeting that was held on 26th June 2021 at Ruaraka Methodist Church. Members present: Charity Kimathi, Dr. Stephen Kirenya, Mercy Karueda, Apol Karomba, Patrick Kaume, Jeff Katobu, Caroline Kidinji, Gregory Muredi, Boniface Mutembei, Grace Njoroge, Eric Mudhom Kinywa, Kenneth Mugambi, Monica Mwaja, John Morioki, Patrick Morioki, Julius Ngolwa, Jafet Kiambi, Sarah Gatugi, Betty Ishoro, Lawrence Muchangi, Samson Kiogora, Stephen Karori, Elizabeth Kinanu, Francis Karia, Franklin Muiti, Duncan Kimathi, Mary Kinoti, Frederick Gallo, Kidinchi Marango, Regina Masine Renu, Caroline Kidinji, Martin Mugambi, Martin Kidinji, Reverend Martin Tonja, Penina Kinanu, Franklin Gitonga, Martin Budi, Catherine Tay, Simon Kenywa, Anne Inanga, Charity Maingi. Those were the members that were present. If your name is missing and you're in the meeting, kindly notify us. In attendance the same day, we had Elijah and the associates, those who are the auditors, Heverin Weluga, Ministry of Cooperative. Members absent with apology. Abraham Motua, Lucy Mutweri, Dorothy Kiremi, Charles Boy, Kenneth Monene, Wede Mwedwa, Catherine Kajuju, Tavida Joel, Damaris Karambu, Dorothy Karemi, John Kimathi, Anita Kedi, Catherine Tay. Those were the members that were absent with apology. If your name is missing there and you had an apology, kindly notify us. I request the chair to share the minutes in the Ameka Sacco WhatsApp group. You have the minutes, I sent them to you. Kindly share so that as I go through the minutes, we are going to be together. Chair, kindly do that. We have also a few copies that can be distributed. Members, have you received the minutes? You've shared. I think now we can continue together. Agenda of the last AGM, there was prayers. Notice of calling AGM to members, reading of previous minutes, matters arising from previous minutes, chairperson's report, supervisory report, auditor report 2019-2020, treasurer's report, resolutions, elections A and B. Prayer. The meeting started at 10:51 p.m. with a word of prayer from Mercy Ngolua. That is 10:51 a.m. Notice of calling AGM to members. The secretary thanked all members for coming and joining the meeting via physical and virtual platform. She then read the notice of calling for the AGM. Readings of previous minutes. Reading of previous minute was read and confirmed as follows. Proposed by Julius Ngolua, seconded by Boniface Mutebei. Matters arising from previous minutes. On matters arising, members were informed the following. That the SACCO had already moved to a new system, that is bytes and counts. That the SACCO was already engaged with CRB, and the office was now able to view credit status of a member before issuing loans, hence having the ability to make better decisions. That the SACCO had already contacted CIC Insurance and a quotation had been presented, though it was quite expensive. Chairman report. The chairman report was read and adopted as follows. Proposed by Monica Mwaja, seconded by Miriam Chabari. Supervisory report. The supervisory report was read and adopted as follows. Proposed by Boniface Mutebei, seconded by Patrick Morioki. Matters arising on supervisory report. It was noted that fire extinguisher was missing the office. The supervisory committee recommended purchase of one soonest possible. Auditor report 2019, minute number 7. The auditor's report 2019 was received and adopted as follows. Proposed by Dr. Stephen Laiteti, seconded by Jafet Kiambi. The auditor's report 2020 was received and adopted as follows. Proposed by Miriam Chabari, seconded by Martin Mogambi. Matters arising from 2019 report. The members wanted to know why figures in 2018 and 2019 were almost the same. The auditor's response was that the year's performance was fair, which represented a normal curve, and with the ratios, there was nothing that showed stagnation. The members requested for indicators that showed there was growth in 2019. They were informed that membership had increased from 426 to 413. Members requested to know why there was an increase in expense. They were informed that there was an increase due to provision of interest on or defaulted loans, as well as the bad loan that had been written off. Members requested to know the measures that were being put in place by the SACCO to recover the defaulted loans. They were informed that the SACCO had recovered the defaulted loans from savings and that members did restructure their loans balances. The members were further informed that with the CRB, the SACCO was now able to assess members' credit history and thus make informed decisions before issuing loans. Members were informed that the SACCO had paid Kenya shillings 25,000 to join Metropole and that 100 shillings was charged for every report pulled out. Members sought to know why the SACCO did not recover defaulted loans from guarantors. They were informed that any loans whose repayment period had elapsed were not recoverable from guarantors. Members sought to know on the provision made for NGM. The auditor responded that we are currently incurring expenses for the year 2019-2020 and that the actual will be accounted for in 2021 and reported. Treasurer's report. The Treasurer's report was received and adopted as follows. Proposed by Dr. Stephen Laititi, seconded by Samson Kiogora. Matters arising from Treasurer's report. Members sought to understand more on insurance of loans. They were informed that insurance to members was quite expensive. Members sought to understand if a monthly charge can be charged to every member. Members were informed that Kenya shillings 70,000 provision on marketing would cater for things such as social media, campaigns, publication and advertising, tools like banners, tents, etc. Creation of educational forums through videos to advertise the SACCO to the public. Resolutions. Declaration 10% dividends on share capital and 3% on member deposit for the year 2019 and 2020 was proposed by Franklin Gitonga, seconded by Anne Inanga. Number B, payment of honoraria to management, proposed by Franklin Gitonga and seconded by Martin Mugambi. Since there was an allocation of 480,000 Kenya shillings for the year 2019 and 2020 as honoraria, members proposed to pay honoraria for 2019 Kenya shillings 240,000 and a half amount of Kenya shilling 120. There was voting done as follows. To pay full amount of 480, total votes were 11. To pay full amount 2019 and a half 2020, that is 360,000, total vote was 3. So it was therefore concluded that the management gets the full amount of Kenya shillings 480 as honoraria. Number C, appointment of new auditor 2021. The members gave the board the board a mandate to appoint a new auditor for the year 2021, proposed by Dr. Laititi, seconded by Franklin Gitonga. Maximum loan limits of Kenya shilling 1,500,000 was proposed by Dr. Laititi, seconded by Elizabeth Kinanu. To increase loan repayment to 4 years for any loan above 1 million Kenya shillings. This was proposed by Reverend Martin Tonja and seconded by Patrick. To increase the emergency loan limits from Kenya shillings 30,000 to 50,000 shillings, this was proposed by Annie Nag and seconded by Franklin Gitonga. To increase monthly savings from 1,000 to 1,500 was proposed by Martin Muredi, seconded by Elizabeth Kananu. To allow physical and virtual meetings, this was proposed by Dr. Stephen Laititi and seconded by Franklin Gitonga. To contribute 100 monthly for insurance and benevolent, proposed by Boniface Mutembei and seconded by Han Inanga. Elections. Number 10. Elections were conducted in the presence of Cooperative Officer Madam Weluga as follows. Members were informed that the following members were retiring. Charity Kimathi, that was the chair ready, Dr. Stephen Kirainya, the first chair, and Caroline Kethenji, credit member. Members were further informed that the following members and resigned out. Abraham Motua, Lucy Kagweria, Abraham Motua, supervisory member, and Lucy Kagweria, supervisory member. On management committee, re-election, Charity Kimathi declared that she was not willing to be re-elected. So those, the management committee elections. Stephen Kirainya was proposed by Boniface Motembei and seconded by Martin Mugambi. Caroline Kethenji was proposed by Franklin Gitonga and seconded by Dr. Laititi. Franklin Gitonga was proposed by Dr. Stephen Laititi and seconded by Caroline Kethenji. Supervisory committee elections. Han Inanga, that was proposed by Martin Kethenji, seconded by Gregory Muredi. Penina Kinan, proposed by Franklin Gitonga, seconded by Dr. Laititi. The cooperative representative instructed that the board members should meet within 7 days to constitute the new board. Vote of thanks, the Sacco chair ready thanked all the members for attending the meeting. Closing prayer. The annual general meeting ended with a word of prayer from Reverend Martin Tonja at 2:14 p.m. So we want someone to second this, propose and second the minutes before we go to the matters arising. Who is seconding the NGM minutes and should be seconded and proposed by members that were present? Who is proposing the NGM minutes for the last year, 2021? Yes, Peter Kenywa. Peter Kenywa. Madam Weluga, can a member propose or second the minutes? A board member? Okay. Who is the seconder? I want to see a hand up. And you must have been present in that meeting for you to second. Yes, I can see Anne there. So matters arising from this minute. We start with the members present. Is there anyone that is missing in this list and was present? And I want to believe that we have members online. Do we have members online? I already passed that, sorry. And we would wish the screen to be here so that we can also be able to know who are with us in the meeting. So please, can that also be done as we continue? So, is there anyone that was present and is missing this list? We go to the apologies. Do you have anyone who is missing here? And maybe you had sent an apology. The last NGM and your name is not here. People online, kindly can you tell me there is any response there? So we proceed. So there was the agenda, the prayers, the notice of calling the NGM to the members. Any comment there from the office, the cooperative? I believe the letter came to the office. Yes. Anything that is in minute 3? Members, we are doing matters arising from this minute. And maybe keeping quiet means we are together. Number 4, matters arising from the previous minute. Any comment there or anything? Can you, if there is a mistake in typing or in writing, kindly you also need to notify me so that it can be redone. Chairman's report, any matters arising from there. Supervisory report, I believe it was shared to us during the AGM. Matters arising on supervisory reports. I believe you have the minutes. Do you? Do you have the minutes? They were sent to the group, and you can be given a copy. Yes. I believe we are together, but you can give Mrs. Mwit a copy. But the rest, we have our mobile phone. I believe we are together as I go through the matters arising. Matters arising from 2019 report. Members, anything there? Matters arising from 2019 report. Any comment, anything there? We proceed? Can we proceed? Okay. Number 8, Treasurer's report. Matters arising from Treasurer's report. Anything to report there? Resolutions that were passed during the AGM. Anything that is missing or any comment there? Appointment of new auditors. Any comment? Maximum loan limit of 1.5 million. Any comment there? To increase loan repayment 4 years for any loan above 400. Any comment there? Members, online, are we together? To increase emergency loan limit from 30,000 to 50,000. Any comment? Proposers and seconders, any comment? Increase monthly savings. I hope I'm not too fast. Are we together? Vote of thanks and closing of the prayers. So I believe the chair is going to as he is going to take us through his report. There are quite a number that he's going to tell us concerning some of the things that are noted in the minutes of 2021. And I believe some of the answers to the questions that are here will be answered in his report. At this time, I just want to welcome the chair so that he's going to take us through the chair's report and give him a factorio as he comes over. Can we, tuchangamke kidogo? Tumekula, tumeshiba, sasa tunasinsia. Kindly, can you welcome our chair with a better clap? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Thank you. I believe in my report you're going to capture the most relevant matters that arose from our last AGM. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you all of you to Ameka Sacco's AGM for the year ended 31st December 2021. To our 3 invited guests, I wish to appreciate you for creating time from your very busy schedules to grace our AGM. As members of the Ameka family, we meet today to share and review the performance and operations of Ameka Sacco. This will, of course, give us a hint. It will help us to share benefits that we made in 2021 and forge away ahead to 2022 and 2023 with some common understanding. We all know where we started, and it is my humbling pleasure to appreciate all your efforts. After our last AGM on the 26th of June 2021, we have embarked on a number of processes to better Ameka Sacco. Some of you that have visited, some of you that have been seeking our services can allude to the fact that things are getting better. Yes, things are getting better. We are now full blast on the new system that we started mid last year, the byte and codes, and we've learned a lot from the system. It has improved a lot of our processes, and this system has helped us to migrate the mobile lending platform. Ameka Mobile Lending was released in January this year, 2022, and it is now a favorite product of the Sacco. Some of us have continually been benefiting from the product. I take this opportunity, therefore, to urge all of you members to fully utilize the facility. It is very competitive among similar products in the market. Those of us that are in business, those of us that have been seeking quick money in the sense of convenience, this is the product for you. This is the product for you. So it is very competitive among similar products in the market. As we share various reports with you today, you will notice that performance has continued to improve, despite, of course, the impacts of COVID-19 pandemic. I acknowledge your commitment, members, to the growth of the Sacco and the commitment of board members and the Sacco officer. This has not gone, of course, without challenges either. The first being the COVID-19 related economic downturn and the government's restraint order that interfered with CRB listing from August 2021 to August 2022. We have, however, aligned our operations with the best possible strategies that we do not lose focus. This then tells us that, it does not tell us that CRB has been phased out, but CRB is still in force and we are utilizing the same. It's only that we are not listing new entrants, but the entrants that we had listed are still on our platform. Come August, this will of course come to an end and we'll start listing other new entrants of the same. Ladies and gentlemen, with a view to grow the Sacco to the next phase, with a desired membership of 1,000 members by 2024, we are proposing to rebrand and move to a bigger office space that would accommodate more customers and with some reasonable working space. We have started working on this. Now that we want to accommodate more and more members, we feel indebted to have a national brand that will help us gain visibility to all and acceptance to all. Well, we occasionally are asked what is the meaning of Ameka to new entrants, and this is the reason why we feel that we need to rebrand. We'll be engaging you on the same, and especially on the brand name. Branding has many components. Branding goes with the name, symbols, colors, and all the same that associate a product or an organization to its membership. So we want our image of Ameka to be uniform all over. and we want to make it national because we are headed there. So with this view, we are proposing to rebrand and have a bigger office. So our landlord, Ruaraka Methodist Church, has agreed to offer Ameka Sacco with more space by constructing a bigger office in the same spot with a main door access from the main road. This would give Ameka Sacco better physical evidence and visibility that is lacking at the moment. With this, we feel that we are headed to greatness. In conclusion, on behalf of the management team, I would like to recognize our members and partners for their unreserved support. I would also wish to thank our management team and the Sacco officer for their continued agility and resilience throughout the pandemic crisis. They have demonstrated some deep commitment to the business, and I have no doubt that with their continued efforts, will emerge even stronger. May God bless you all. Long live Ameka Limited. Long live Ameka Sacco. Thank you. And if there are any matters that may, or any questions that may come out of this report, feel free to engage. Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. So before he sits, we want a proposer and a seconder. So now we can go to any comments. Who is proposing this Chair's report? Do we adopt it? Who is proposing? Chairperson's report. Proposer. Patrick Kome as proposed. Seconder. Who is seconding the chairperson's report? Yes, Jennifer Muiti. Thank you. Any matters arising from the chairperson's report? I believe we have the copy of that. It is in the group. I believe we are together. We can now proceed to the next agenda. To receive and adopt Supervisory Committee's report, Supervisory Office. I believe that the Supervisory Chair is online. So I will call a member in that office, that is Anne, to take us through that report.
Good afternoon, Ameka. Good afternoon. I'm Jashiba. Meshiba. Then behave like Meshiba. Welcome all, both physical, those who are physical and those who are online. My name is Anne Kirote Inanga, and I'm the Secretary of the Supervisory Committee. So, Ameka Sacco Supervisory Committee report, introduction. Supervisory Committee comprises of 3 members. That is the chairman, who is Gregory Moreithi, who is with us online, secretary, who is myself, and member, who is Penina Guantai. It is an independent and objective assurance and consulting activity that is guided by philosophy of adding value to improve the operations of the circle. It assists Sacco in accomplishing its objectives by bringing a systematic and disciplined approach to evaluate and improve the effectiveness of the organization's governance, risk management, and internal controls. Scope. The audit covers the period 1st January to 31st December 2021. We, as the Supervisory Committee, revised the records kept, internal controls, risk associated with the circle, compliance, and the operations. We made the following observations and recommendations. 1. Areas well done by the Management Committee. 1. Mobile lending product to members achievement, which is up and running as at now. So thank you, that's good work done. Listing members who have defaulted loans to the CRB, that is also a plus to you. And keeping records for the mobile lending. Check dispatch book, well kept, indicating the purposes, recipient, name, and signatures for those collecting the checks. External data back and safe custody outside the premises by the Management Committee initiative. Process and approval of loans duly adhered to by the Credit Committee. Education to members was successfully done last week. Loan repayments by members increased in the year compared to the previous year 2020. Statutory compliance has been withholding tax and remitting to KRA as required with reference to Bytes and Cons Limited. Findings, observations, and recommendations. And so now we look at internal control system. Payment process. The service providers such as Safaricom for internet are paid via a check. We observed that once an invoice is sent to the circle, a check is raised and payment made against it. There were no payment raised. The filing for paid invoices was mixed up with petty cash vouchers. Recommendations. Payment vouchers should be designed and printed to be used for payment processing. The person in the office to prepare and approve a process duly followed. The paid vouchers should be separately filed separately from the petty cash transactions. IT general controls. We established that the desktop is protected using a free antivirus downloaded. The system, since it was installed, has not been tested for intrusion, that is a pen testing, a security testing, or penetration testing. Recommendations. We recommend proper protection against virus and internet security by using antivirus such as Kaspersky for better safeguarding of our data against possibility of hacking and data loss. We should have the software system we are using intrusion tested by engaging professionals so that our system is fully safeguarded from any potential threats. Petty cash transactions. We observed that the office does petty cash book is maintained. However, the physical filing system was not well organized. The petty cash vouchers were not serialized and sequentially filed. Referencing for the check withdrawn was not indicated in the Excel sheet prepared by the office admin. Payment made via checks were found mixed up with petty cash transactions. At times, a check is drawn to other officials rather than office admin meant for petty cash transactions, for example, sales and marketing expenses. Recommendations. We recommend that a petty cash file should be separately maintained for all petty cash transactions, and the PCR should all be serialized and sequentially filed. For example, 01-2022 being the first document till the end of the year 2022, and 01-23 for the subsequent years, etc. We suggest that all petty cash withdrawals should be assigned to the office admin for proper accountability. We should maintain a separate file for invoices paid via a check. Risk assessment. Statutory compliance. In the year under review, we observed the Sacco had not complied as required with the various regulatory bodies such as NSSF, NHIF, NITA, KRA, PAYE, and NMS licenses. Withholding task was, however, deducted and remitted as required. Recommendations. The management committee should ensure that all statutory obligations are met to avoid have a huge amount of money. However, we still have a huge amount of money yet to be recovered, amounting to Kenya shillings 4,515,534 shillings. Recommendations. The credit committee should further seek another way of recovering the defaulted loans, including the possibility of using debt recovery agents in conjunction with the guarantors. Server physical access. We observed that the Sacco server and the UPS are not under lock. This poses a big risk, which should someone access the room where it is kept and with malicious intention, that would be very dangerous for us. Recommendations. The management should ensure the server room is under lock and key at all times. Governance and of the Sacco management meeting. We observed that the management do frequently meet to discuss Sacco matters. The minutes are recorded in a handwritten book. Recommendations. We encourage the office administrator to ensure that the minutes are always typed after confirmation and adoption. Job description for the office admin. It was observed that the office admin had a contract well drawn and duly signed. However, the job description was not made for that position. Recommendations. We should have a clear job description for the office admin, which should be used during the appraisal to evaluate her performance. Mobile lending. The terms and conditions. Terms and conditions of the mobile lending, a mobile loan platform has not been formulated for the members to accept before being advanced the loan. So the TNC could probably cover what happens when a member defaults loan repayment. In case a member fails to pay within the month, the system will roll over to the next month, and the interests will automatically be charged to the subsequent month, but after the second month, if the principal amount is not paid, the entire amount plus interest thereof would be recovered from the members' savings. Recommendations. The TNC should be incorporated in the mobile lending platform, and the members get the mobile loan. They should be in a position to accept it. This would cushion us from any legal battles related to the actions we would take. Conclusion, we do appreciate the cooperation exhibited by the management committee and the credit committee to the supervisory team. The desire and initiative undertaken by the entire team to grow Ameka Sacco and while safeguarding the interests of the members. This report was prepared by the chairman, Gregory Moreithi, secretary, and our member. And so that is our report. Thank you very much for listening. Secretary. At this juncture, I would request if there is a proposer and a seconder of this report. Proposer? Who is proposing? By a show of hand. Simon Peter. Thank you, Simon. Seconder? That is Dorothy Kirimi. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Han, for taking us through the supervisory report. So we had proposer Peter Kenywa and seconder was Dorothy Kirimi. Now, I want to take this opportunity to invite and welcome our auditor to present the audited financial statement for the year 2021. Mr. Murig is with us. Pedro, can you give him a clap as he comes forth to give us the audited report? That is a dull one. Can you be a little bit lively? Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. Good evening. Good evening, members. Thank you very much. As you have been told, my name is Patrick Mwirigi. I represent the audit firm of Fick and Howell, who are your new auditors. So this is the first time that we are meeting. I want to confirm to you that we did our audit, and what I'm going to present to you has been audited, discussed with your management committee, and signed and registered with the State Department of Cooperatives. So I think we'll go, I don't know whether you have copies. Do you have copies? Because I would want us to read together. You have copies? They were shared on soft. Or 5 members in 2021 compared to 457 in 2020. You still have 1 employee, but our one chairman said that you're going to grow, move to bigger offices, and probably have more employees, which might address some of the committee is bringing up in terms of segregation of duties. In terms of financial highlights, your total assets have grown from 34 million. They reduced slightly, from 34 million to 33 million. Liabilities reduced from 27 million to about 25 million, or 24.9. Member deposits have gone down, and we are going to see why when we go to the detailed accounts. Loans and advances to members also reduced from 33 million to 28 million. The other number that is of interest there that we need to look at is we are going to look at these numbers in detail on the respective pages. At the moment, when we look at them without the notes, we may not understand them, but let's look at the ratios. When you look at the ratios, there's the minimum statutory ratios that you're supposed to maintain. And you can see in all the ratios, you're above the minimum requirement, which is good because some SACCOs are really struggling with these ratios and they end up getting in trouble with the regulator. Basically, you've done before. In some, like the liquidity ratio, it is 19% against 2% the previous year, and the required ratio by the ministry or by the regulator is 15%. And so you are above the requirement, which is a commendable thing. Let's move to page 4. Page 4 is the statutory report as well, a report of the directors, which is the key highlight there is number 4, point number 4, which is results. And you can see your surplus is 1.4 million against 1.3 million the previous year. Then there's a transfer to statutory reserves, which is normally 20%. Then the interest rebate to members, it's now 1.6 against 737. And number 6, paragraph 6 there explains how you're going to be paying your interest rebates and dividend and interest rebate. So dividend will be at 10%. Interest rebate will be at 8%. 2020 was 3%. So I believe when that is brought to your attention, you'll be able to vote for it. So on page 5, there's not much to mention there. Let's keep that. Skip page 6, which is also a statutory report. Then skip page 7, 8, and 9, which is our report on these accounts, so that we go through the report first. So let's go to page 10. On page 10, you can see the interest on loans during the year was 4,302,816 against 4,179,656. And interest rebate that is being recommended now is 1.6 million against 737 the previous year, giving you net interest income of 2.6 million against 3.4 for the previous year. Basically, the main thing there is that your interest rebate has increased to 8%. That's why the net interest income is lower than the previous year. I think the committee was a bit conservative the previous year, being a COVID year. But right now they have recommended 8%, and they believe they will continue at that rate. On the other income, we have some interest that was written off and recovered during the year. I believe management has done well to do that. Fees and penalties on loans of 1.2 million. And then impairment charges on loans and advances, which is really provisions for bad loans of 1.7 million. That provision was made during the year. I want to take you to page where we have that note. If you go to page 23 with me, because I know members might want to ask why there was no provision in 2020. Let's go to page 23, where we have administrative expenses on note 7. Are we there? If you can look at note 7 from the bottom, where we have VAT, then we have provisions for penalties on default and loans, and then you have provision for interest on default and loans. You can see in 2020, when that figure was 1.6 million, this year it is 1.7 million. So there's a slight increase in that of just about 100,000, so that members don't ask why there's no comparative here. But what we have done is that we have presented it the way it is supposed to be presented. So moving forward, the presentation will be as per the 2021 presentation, where this provision is supposed to appear before you determine your total income here, your gross income. So what was done is that in 2020, it was put under administrative expenses, and it is not an administrative expense. That is also why when you look at the expenses down there, admin expenses are showing that your expense was 825 against 2.3 million the previous year. The explanation is the same. This 2.3 million included that 1.6 that should not have been at that point, should have been presented up here. So it's just a matter of presentation. So the expenses have actually remained more or less the same. If you look at the same note 7 on page 23, the 2.3 million minus 1.6 million is about 800,000. And your current admin expenses are more or less 825. So it's good to understand the comparatives. Governance expenses have remained rather increased to 130 because of more meetings. The committee had more meetings than it had in 2020. You remember 2020 was not a year that had meetings. Those are mainly bank charges and M-Pesa charges, so they depend on the transactions that you have. During the year, they were 13,000 against 28,000 the previous year. So total expenses members was 968,747 against 2.4. And remember that 2.4 includes that 1.6 that I'm saying should have been up there. So your expenses are more or less the same. Your surplus before transfer to statutory reserves is 1.4 million against 1.3 the previous year. So more or less performance at the same level as the previous year. Then there's a transfer to statutory reserve of 20%. Then from there, we can move to your balance sheet on page 11. It's now called the Statement of Financial Position, although most people know it as balance sheet. And when you look at it in terms of global numbers, your assets are mainly grown, rather reduced from 34 million to 33. And you can see the main reduction is on loan to members. Mostly reduction in terms of repayments. And we are going to see note 15 so that we look at the details. Note 15 is on page 26. You can see loan to members started at 33 million. Then there were normal loans disbursed during the year of about 11 million. Then repayments of 19.6 million. Then loan refinancing of 407 million. Then there's the recoverable amounts that were written off some time back of 4.6 million, but the board is still pursuing them. And then the provisions that were made during the year of 1.7. So that's how we end up with a net figure of 28 million against 33 the previous year. When we come to equity and liabilities, the main highlight there is on member deposit, where your member deposit reduced from 24 million to 20 million. And we can see that on note 16 on the same page 26, where we started with 24 million. Then there were reductions during the year, where the management committee was a bit aggressive and decided that for those loans that are dormant, and you realize that the dormancy membership has reduced, the deposits were used to offset loans. So there was a reduction there of 3.5 million. There were some few deposits that were refunded of 357, and deductions to the benevolent fund of 102, giving us a net of 20.5 million. So that's what I wanted to highlight on that page. The next page, statement of changes in equity, is basically a summary of your share capital, statutory reserve, devaluation reserve, and revenue reserves. Revenue reserves is the reserves that you brought forward plus the surplus that has remained after transfers to statutory reserve and after payment of dividend and honoraria. So you can see there, your share capital has grown slightly from 613,000 to 740. Statutory reserve has obviously increased because of the transfer during the year, or 20%. So it has moved from 2.4 million to 2.6. Devaluation reserve has remained the same. Revenue reserves have increased because of the transfer during the year. The surplus you made during the year, when you subtract transfer to statutory reserves, you pay dividends and honoraria, what remains has increased that from 3.9 to 4.5. And so this statement shows you money that belongs to you as members other than your deposits. So it has grown from 7.1 million to 8.1 million, by about $1 million, Bob. So other than the money that you have contributed, this is also your money. This page represents what belongs to you in terms of share capital and other reserves. Statement of cash flows, which is on page 13. just want to highlight that from your working capital changes, you have a positive cash flow of 3.1. In terms of operations, you are at 3.1 cash used up in operations. Then in terms of investing activities, that is loans to members, that was a positive 4.8. And then from financing activities, negative 3.9. Because of that reduction in member deposits. But overall, your net increase in cash is 4,010,630 plus what was there at the beginning of the year. So your closing cash balance is 4.5 million. And if you can look at note 13 to just look at what that is comprised of, note 13 is on page 25. You can see the big amount of that is in your current account. So at the end of the year, you earn 3 million in the bank. You earn some savings amount in the cooperative bank, something in post office bank, 46,000, M-Pesa, pay bill, and then the B2C lending platform of 985. So the bulk of that amount is, or rather was in your current account. So I believe by now, probably the board has already disbursed that into loans because it's not good to keep a lot of money as cash. And that is what has really improved your liquidity ratio. At the end of the year, your liquidity ratio was 19% against the recommended ratio of 15%. Members, other than that, because we have looked at the key notes when we are looking at the statements, that is all that I wanted to highlight. And now, in closing, I want to read our opinion on these accounts. And that opinion is on page 7. And our report is ended, Independent Auditors Report to the members of Ameka Savings and Credit Cooperative Society Limited. Report on the audit of the financial statements. Opinion. We have audited the financial statements of Ameka Sacco, set out on pages 10 to 27, which comprise the statement of financial position of the society as at 31st December 2021, the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the statement of changes in equity, and statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and the notes to the financial statements, including a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory information. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of Ameka Sacco as at 1st December 2021, and of its financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standards for small and medium-sized enterprises, what we call IFRS for SMEs, and the Cooperative Societies Act. That is the bit of our report that is important for this meeting. The rest of it is very standard. Thank you very much, members. If there are any questions on the accounts, I think the treasurer is on standby to answer them. So I think the right procedure is to have somebody propose and second, isn't it? So I'll give back the mic to the secretary.
Thank you, sir. That is the audited report 2021. Who is the proposer? Can you also check online, please, so that we need to be together, the people online. Kindly check if there is anyone that is proposing this audit report via online. Members present, who is proposing? Yes, Catherine. Who is the seconder? Yes, John. I can see a number, so I pick John. John Morioki. And I just want to invite the treasurer so that she come together here with the auditor. If there are any questions that needs to be clarified or need the answers, I believe the treasurer is here and together also with the auditor so they can be able to answer the questions. So, treasurer. Matters that are arising from the audited report. If there are any questions, kindly feel free to ask.
Thank you, Secretary, and thanks, Auditor Patrick, for that presentation. So we welcome members online and Facebook to, if you have any yes. Where is Patrick? Patrick. And also, in case someone is monitoring online so that we don't miss someone.
My question is, are they the members who are currently taking the loans, or they are the ones that, originally also there were people who did not, even before this management, there are people who are defaulted paying their loans. And are we talking about of those, they have handed more? Because I don't know.
Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. So I can confirm to you that the credit team is doing all of us to work to monitor the loans. The defaulted loans we're talking about is the historic one. Because now the current one they're looking at on a timely basis, and in the event of any default, then of course we resort to recovery from the members' shares at a deposit. Members' deposit, and that's why the auditor was explaining that there was a drop in member savings because some of the member savings were used to offset loans. So the amount you're talking about is for the historical loans, and I can assure you every member will have to pay this. So there's no way about it. There are not ways about it. We are coming up with ways of how do we recover this. So there's no member who will run away with the SACCO's money. That's the assurance we are giving as a management. But if it means going to court of law, let the court of law decide that we feel as a SACCO, so you cannot recover. And maybe the chair can comment on this. But that's the assurance we are giving. No member will get away with this.
Thank you very much, Treasurer. The 4,500,000 and something, 270,620. Sorry, the 4.5 million that was reported even by the supervisory committee. Yes, this is a baggage of an obligation that was handed to us by the previous regime that lasted for more than 10 years. It was in fact 7.7 million, and we've been able to recover the bit. No one is running with any money, and we are seeking clarification from the cooperative officers whether this meeting can institute a policy. Madam Werunga, we are seeking your indulgence on this matter. There are those loans that we inherited. You are aware about them. We've tried to recover them, at least half of them. Of course, we are getting a lot of handles, and we are wondering whether this meeting can institute a policy where we can perhaps engage a debt collector. Because we feel that these are members that we know them very well. Some of them, we know them. They are doing very well in their private life, and they want to run away with our money. Is it in order for this committee, for this meeting, to institute a policy? The time of these loans date way back in 2014, 2015. Some of them expired 7 years ago. But we know these people. We can get hold of them. We have listed them, but this does not scare them. As we try to seek the services of lawyers, some advices are flowing, and believe you me, in the next 2 months, something will be happening. Even though it means going to court and spending a few shillings to recover the 4.5 million, we'll do that. Let us leave it to that today, but we are still consulting, and I want to believe by the end of 2 months, something substantial must happen.
Thank you, Chair.
Someone who has raised his hand online.
Mhm.
You can give him or her a chance to raise his views.
There's someone online?
Yes.
Sorry? Someone online can speak? Aquaro, Jay Aquaro.
Thank you, members, and good afternoon to all of us. Am I audible, please? Let me know if I'm audible.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and well done to the team for making it possible for us to connect online. This is a milestone. You can connect or attend a meeting from wherever you are. My question or observation is that what is the timeline that members are supposed to receive the verified documents, especially the treasurer's report or signed account statements, so that we are able to review them before the date of the meeting, so that we have informed information and raise appropriate questions. Maybe this goes either to the, I don't know, the Werunga, or I heard somebody from the cooperative team. Maybe we should be informed of the timeline, so that at least we expect our leadership to give us documents early enough, so that we have information before the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Aquaro. That's a good question. But for the audits and accounts, I think I shared them on 30th on Ameka Sacco Limited WhatsApp group. I'm not sure whether you are a member on that group, Aquaro, or you are not, but at least we shared on 30th. Then another measure that we took as, of course, through the guidance of the cooperative is to pin the accounts in the office, in the Sacco office. So if you had a chance to pass through for the first, I think, a week or so, you should have seen the accounts. So I hope, Aquaro, that point is addressed. Akwaru, kuna swali lingine? Okay. Any other question on unattended accounts? So I believe we can move on. The accounts are shared on WhatsApp group. I think we can move on in a second. So I want to take you through the budget. I've shared on WhatsApp group the 2021-2022 budget. And let me focus on 2021 and the budget and the actuals. We had a budget of 4.2 and other income of 1.2. And lucky enough, we are able to achieve those. So we got interest income of 4.3 and other income of 1.2. This is from the interest loan written off. And we project in 2022 to do 4.5 in terms of the interest and the recoveries of 1.5. And why increases? Because we have rolled out the mobile loan lending platform. So we hope members will be able to take it up, and it's another source of revenue to the Sacco. Then for 2021, after having a target end 4.2, we plan to share, or rather to give surplus of 3.9. However, save for impairment of loans, following the recommendations, of course, from the auditors and the best practice, we adopted the SASRA's guidelines on providing for loans, which took 8 on our surplus. Were it not for that, we could have even shared close to like 15-20% of the interest on member deposit. The other costs, more or less, they were within our budget. Moving on loan and investment, and for the last 5 years, compared to last year, there was a slight dip because of we don't know why members shied away from taking loans. Maybe it's because of the stringent measures that the Sacco is putting in place. But nevertheless, we hope to be on an upward trajectory. Again, another decline in terms of the loan that shown the loan coming down is a recovery of loan default and loans from, of course, members of certain members' deposit. Then moving on to revenue and expenditure comparison. Again, in 2020, compared to 2021, there is a decrease in what I'm calling the surplus because of the provisioning of the loans as per the SASRA guidelines. But of course, in terms of the top line, we surpass our budget, but then bottom line we were impacted by the loans provisions. Then, if I was to compare share capital and the members' deposit, the share capital has been on a upline trajectory for the last 5 years. Same case for members' deposits, but again, say for a decline in members' deposit, because again of using the members' deposit to offset loans that were in default. So it's upon even the members to evaluate who members they are guaranteeing. Because, so what will happen is that, yes, this year we might have good dividends, but next year, for members who will recover the members' deposits, you can be assured next year we'll have a less dividends, because your shares, or rather your member deposits, were not used even in the start of the year to start generating business revenue for the Sacco. Then return on investment to members. Last year, of course, we are a bit conservative. We gave a 3% rebate of interest on member deposit. But this year, we are giving 8%. And we project, or rather, next year or this year, 2022, we want to surpass that interest, maybe to 10% or higher than that. And this is coupled on the measures Sacco has put in place to ensure that there is reduction in terms of loan defaults and what have you. And also, members need to be educated that if you miss 1-2 payments, it is impacting us in terms of their own provisioning. So we do encourage members to be paying their loans on time, as and when they fall due, so that at the end of the year, they are not, their own portfolio is not impaired. I think that's from the Treasurer desk. So we need to adopt this. So I need a proposal and a second, then you can react on it.
Thank you, Treasurer, for the budget that you have presented to us. So I need a proposal to enable us adapt his budget for the year 2022. Who is the proposer? Check online. Who is proposing the Treasurer's budget for the year 2022? Yes? No, he's in the, he's the chair, so he can't do that. I want this from the members. Anyone online? Members present? We can't move unless we agree on the budget. Ken Mutuma. Seconder. Or the budget was not clear to us. I can give Treasurer another chance to take us through it so that we... Yes, Monica. Thank you. So I think we are proceeding to the next item. Sorry? Yes, I think I have written him. Ken Mutuma is the proposer and seconder is Monica Mwaja. I believe we had no questions for the budget. Is there any questions or we move on? I believe we proceed. Yes, our next item is we have the invited guests, and we have the two of them from the cooperative office. We have Madam Weruga and Madam Susan. So they are the next agenda. Yes. So Madam Weruga, can we give him a clap as she comes forward? A better one than that. Thank you, Madam.
Good afternoon. You'll excuse us, I'll be very fast. Kwa sababu mlichelewa. Si tulichelewa kuanza mkutano. That is why you can see my colleague is moving out and in. That we are just having another meeting the other side. So nilikuja hapa nilijua hatuna experience ya kutosha. Kasema acha nianzie kwenu. So I'll be a bit fast. I'll just start by talking about the defaulters. I understand people are online. And those people who are defaulted, the only thing the management committee can do is to recover from the guarantors. And I'm begging the guarantors that have paid for the loanees, please take them to court. The people wenye pesa zao zimekatwa, tafadhali. I understand, unajua walisema Wameru wanakata mkono ndio waseme tulikata kwa nini. I understand they are answering you badly. Kwa sababu utakikani kuuliza kama mtu mwenye alisimamia mkopo. Please take them to court. Peleka hao tribunal, Reinsurance Plaza, 10th floor. Let the court deal with them. Chama itakusaidia kwa kutoa documents za kuonyesha wewe umemlipia na uligarantii loan. Wacha court deal na yeye. Nasikia wanawaambia sitalipa, waambie. Sasa ukiambia kamati hatalipa, si ni wewe unamlipia? Who is losing? It is you, the member. So just take a few there, alafu watakuwa wazuri. Watakuwa wazuri. Wakikata pesa yako na unyamaze, that is what they are going to do. And they will continue doing it. Just take them to court. Siku hizi hatutaki kucheza na hao watu. Because pesa ni zetu. Na ni za kila mtu. Na hii kamati must make sure every shilling given out must come back. How do they make sure? Watachukua kutoka kwa guarantors because you've given them a surety that if this person doesn't pay, I'll pay on his behalf. Na hiyo surety ndio wamefuata, ndio wakakata pesa zako savings. But when you get that notice, please come to the office and organize on how you will pay. Sababu wakati tu once, wanakupa muda after you get the notice. Just come and say we can pay per month this amount, then you agree on, than reducing your deposit every time. We will not grow. Because tumetoka 24 tumeenda 20. So next year it might be 15. Then it means watu wataogopa kugarantii. Watu wataogopa sana kugarantii each other. Because when you come for a guarantor una smile. Akikuuliza pesa atafanya vile unataka. What language is that? Kusema atafanya vile unataka sitalipa. It's a very bad way, isn't it? Now we'll sign with a good heart. And that is why I start asking myself. Sijui kama Methodist mnasemanga Bwana asifiwe. Kama mnasema, I believe members are from that church. Na anaweza kataa kulipa mkopo umlipie. Nyinyi huwa mnaokoka? Na mnaokoka wapi? Because these defaulters ni wezi. Hao defaulters ni wezi, wamekuibia. So sielewi vizuri, labda siku moja nitakuja service nisikie wakipreach. Nielewe hii maneno iko namna gani. Najua kuna watu wa Mungu na watoto wa Mungu. So labda wanaenda tu kanisani wazikwe na heshima. Let us be serious with what we are doing. A church-based organization itakikani kuleta hizo aibu. You must behave well. Kama haitoshi ya kulipa, tulikuwa tunajua there was COVID. Come and explain that there's a problem, I can pay this little. They'll understand. Than just putting off, alafu next unaambia mtu sitalipa, enda waambie. So ukisha sema ni wewe utakatwa. Okay, as we move on, we will introduce other collaterals in our loan so that people don't suffer so much. That you can bring a collateral, alafu sasa usitafute guarantor. So that we try to help our members. Wale wazuri, si utuletee gari iko kwa mawe. You've already introduced. Na mna assess vizuri. Kabisa ndio mkubali. Na wale wame default, tell them hawajaenda free. Wale watu wamekatwa pesa wote, you can come together, then you just go at once, you launch a complaint kwa tribunal, then they'll make a follow-up. I know hakuna Mumeru maskini. You know Meru is the richest county in Kenya. The richest county in Kenya, so msituambie hamna pesa. Ama mko broke? So, hapa hakuna kitu? Mko sawa? Nimewasikia ati nimeuliza hawa empowering talent. Which talent are you empowering? Of savings. Simu wameandika kwa t-shirt? Which one? Watu kutoroka na pesa. So I want to give you interest on deposit of 1.6 million. Sijui kama mnataka mupewe ama zikae bure. Sijui kama mnataka hivyo mupewe. Nataka proposal na seconder. Ile inaitwa interest on, yani ile faida mnapewa kwa pesa zenu mmeweka kwa chama. Mnataka mupewe cash ama waongeze kwa savings? Mupewe cash. Secretary unawaona? Cash. Seconder is here. Aya, kuna dividends hiyo tutaongeza tu, ni kidogo sana. Is 1.6 million. Sijaona percentage. Auditor, did you calculate the percentage?
Yes,
8%. Interest on deposit, 8% of 1.6. Kumbe mjaweka pesa. 1.6 ni 8%. Kuna dividends of 74,000. Hizo tu tunaongeza kwa shares. Hiyo ni kidogo. Hiyo ni kidogo. Yaani shilingi ngapi kila mtu auditor? Ni 100. 100. Waongeze kwa shares. Mnataka kukula hata hiyo? Shares ni pesa ngapi? Auditor? 10%. What is your share? 5,000. 10%. 500. 5% withholding tax. Unabaki na ngapi? 450. So mnataka mupewe? Tuongeze kwa gani? Kwa shares. Nataka proposal na seconder. Hiyo pesa ni kidogo. Masi? Proposal na seconder. Kuna honorari ya kamati.
Seconder ni nani? Sijaona seconder wa hiyo.
Seconder ndio yule pale. Hatuwezi kosa seconder. Kuna honorari ya kamati.
So what percent is that?
10%. Tukiaccumulate next time wakitupea 10% zitakuwa pesa mingi kidogo. Tulipe tax kwa shilingi 500. Tupate forward. For something, 495. 475. So kuna honorari ya kamati. Wapewe au wanyimwe? Wapewe. Wamefanya kazi. Nani anasema wapewe? Unaitwa nani? Simon anasema wapewe. Seconder?
Proposal alikuwa nani?
Simon.
Seconder? No recess.
Tunataka kufanya uchaguzi. Nimemtoa kwa sababu tukiappoint auditor lazima awe nje. That is why nimemwambia atoke nje ndio tuachague auditor for 2022. Huyu alikuwa wa 2021. Anaitwa nani? Feckan and Howell Associates. Sijui kama mnataka muendelee nayo ama mnapea kamati ruhusa ya kutafuta mwingine. Aendelee. Proposer.
Nathan.
We are going to elections. Leo.
Madam. Sijapata sekonda. Yes.
Mbona mimi niliona mikono mingi?
I was writing.
Okay. Leo kwa wale wana retire ni Apollo Kairanya and Jeff Gatobu. Hao ni kina nani? Okay, those two are retiring from the management committee. Supervisory committee nasikia Gregory Bundi resign, so we are going to replace him. So hawa kamati wawili wameretire, but they can be re-elected if you wish to. If you wish to bring new members in, you are allowed. Munipe ni maoni mnataka aje? Members waendelee. Nani amesema waendelee? Umevaa t-shirt, unakaa kamati.
Yeah, she is the vice chair. So you can't vote.
Unaitwa? Felix anasema waendelee.
Ako wapi Felix?
I think we have them out and then we know whether tuwarudishe wote ama turudishe mmoja sasa.
No, hawatoki ka. Sasa nyinyi ndio mnaniambia mnatakaje? To vote. Yes. We vote. Si hiyo inakuwa rahisi. Unajua wakitoka nje ni kama umewapropose na hatujawapropose. Wanatoka tu kama tumewapropose na kusecond. Ndio sasa tuwasengenye kama wamekuwa nje. Lakini sasa hizo wamekuwa raia. Sasa raia tuwatoe nje. Tuko sawa? So we are saying we vote. One on one. Can you give me the names? Na useme jina yako na kuwe seconded. Sasa msichelewe hapo. Tufanye haraka kidogo. You are not voting positions. You are voting the board. Positions watajipea wenyewe. Si tunachagua tu waheshimiwa. Minister ni president anaamua. Yes. Una propose Nathan. Nathan nani? Secondary nani? No, propose kwanza ni jina. Secondary Jennifer. Another candidate? Nani anasema Apollo? Unaitwa? Simon. Second wa Apollo? Second wa Apollo?
Catherine.
Another candidate? Another candidate? Wametosha?
No, we need 3.
No, I need 2. You've given me 2. But you said we vote. Tumepotea. Sawa. So tunaenda nafasi ya Caroline Gatwiri. Not Caroline. Gregory Bundi. Supervisory Committee. Nilinemu watu watatu. Wawili Management Committee. That was Apollo and Jeff.
Not Apollo.
It was Apollo and Jeff. Kutoka Management Committee. Mukasema muta propose from the ground. You've proposed Dr. Nathan and Apollo. Nimeuliza kuna mwingine mukanyamaza. It means they go automatic. Nafasi zilikuwa ngapi? 2. Now I'm moving to the supervisory. Penye Gregory Bundi resign. Can you give me another person? Najua anajua hesabu kidogo. Ajue kahesabu kidogo eh? Yes. You propose? At Ezra. Unaitwa nani?
Isi Ameka.
Ezra hapa kweli. Yes. Is a member, I know. Yes?
Is a member.
Seconder, kwanza.
I wanted to give some information, then you can guide.
Yes.
Ezra is also an equivalent official member of Ameka Sacco.
Yes.
He was, but when he failed, then I think he formed another Sacco. So by the virtue of still a member, he is, but I didn't guide it. He modifies. Those also rules are similar within the church.
So akona conflict of interest, running a parallel one with the same membership.
That is my.
That is your take.
Seeking your clarification on that.
Sasa msinipe. Nipe mwingine.
So do we still voting for?
Someone is proposing who? Eh? Mwirigu. Yes. Muna propose nani? Online nimeona mnaangalia.
Can you check for us online?
Hata
Mwirigi who? But Mwirigi hameni.
Sinyi ndio mnachagua, sasa mnatafuta mama na mmekaa chini. Yes?
Yes. Ruth Kanyeri.
Ruth. Monica. Is it Monica? Catherine. Nani ana second Ruth? Gina, please. John. Kuna mwingine ama ametosha? Wamepropose Ruth.
Ruth Kanyeri has been proposed by Catherine and seconded by
John. Metosha ama bado? Na hii supervisor imejaa mama. Ann, Penina. Eh? Switch like how? Nathan ni nani?
Tumechagua hapo. So we can supervisor.
Kuswitch ndio kufanya nini? Samwezi. Eh? So Nathan anakuwa proposed to supervisory committee.
Being the chair.
Nani alipropose Nathan?
Alikuwa na
Gatwere.
Jennifer.
Gatwere, what are you saying? Unajua hao ni kamati na wanaongea na sijui kwa nini wanaongea. Gatwere, wewe ulimchagua wapi? Anasema Nathan. Tumpeleke supervisory. Alafu Ruth arudi management. Eh? Unajua we have to write these minutes well. Because tukifika huko ziko written we cannot change. We have to do it here. So we are proposing Nathan to supervisory committee.
Chair.
Supervisory committee.
Yes.
Hakuna chairman hapo. Tengeneza minutes zako. So that we don't ati tumemtoa the other side tukamleta. Si nimewaambia nyinyi mnachagua nani? You only mna-elect MP, sio minister. So the MP is the board. I think I'm through. I hope tutakutana next time. Please, you will allow me. Nimeona gari nyingi sana hapa nje. Somebody has to drop me somewhere in 2 minutes. Sasa unanipea hizi vitu ifanyie nini? Secretary? You know, we've done almost everything. The only thing we've not done is the top up. Hizo mbili tu. But I think we've done everything. Top up, I will only advise the committee to make a loan policy and put those things in place. Alafu tutaletea members kwa education mwasome, then now they will adapt. Tuko sawa? Wacha tuweke kwa policy a written thing that they know. A good driver, please. Nitoke na wewe. Amuke nikitoka hapa tunatoka na yeye. Nani anani drop? Hapa tu. Gospel Assembly. Siyawanza mbotu utani drop. Sawa sawa. Secretary, sijui wewe ndio ulikuwa master of ceremony or what have you. I've said the two tutaweka kwa loan policy. Just these two ndio tuja discuss 50 na 5% top up. But you start preparing that you will pay a loan of 50%, you pate top up. Top up will charge you 5% of the balance of the loan. Balance of the loan when you are topping up. Kama umechukua 200, umelipa 100, you want to take another 300, we will charge you 5% on the 100 yenye ilikuwa imebaki. Opportunity cost, we are paying for you the 100,000. So tutakucharge 5% interest at that point of giving you 300. So we'll give you less 5% of the former loan. Nimepeana example. Ulichukua loan ya 300,000, umelipa up to 150,000. Uko umebaki na balance ya 150, but you want to top up. So when you are topping up, unakuja chukua loan ya 400. Tunakata our 150. We give you the balance. The 150 tunakulipia from the loan we are giving you, we are going to charge you 5%. Opportunity cost. Kwa sababu sisi tumekulipia 150 ya ile loan ulikuwa hujalipa na tumekupea mkopo ingine. So we'll charge you 5%, then you start paying 400,000. Are we okay? Yes. Lakini tutasoma kwa masomo. Mwende kuprepare. Tutasikizana tu. Hatuwezi kukulipia loan bure. Wengine wanaita top up, wengine wanasema refinancing. Whichever language.
Madam, please come back and explain so that members understand better.
Wamesema you will top up kama umelipa loan to 50%. Kulingana na hiyo karatasi umepewa. And they are saying we will charge 5% on top up loans. Which 5% are you charging? You are charging on what?
The top up.
On the top up.
No, to top up.
That is what I'm saying. If they charge you 5% on the top up loan, it will be expensive.
Yes. Yeah, it is expensive. I am topped up with that loan. That loan they gave me, they cut me some percentage.
Yes.
At the beginning, when they gave me that loan,
Which one?
hiyo sasa nimelipa 150. Na the 300, if they give me 300, walikata some percentage. Sasa the same thing wanaongeza percentage ingine kwa nini? Hapo ni mara mbili.
No, hakuna ku. Okay. So what we're trying to say is, what we're trying to encourage members to service their own to the fullest. Yeah, and we are saying, there's a member who mwenye anachukua loan, let's say 1 million, analipa inafika 700,000 anakujia top up. So what we are saying, at least before you qualify for a top up, can you pay the loan at least to 50% of the loan? At least ipunguze mpaka. That's one. Number two, if you are coming for the top up, because there's a foregone cost. When you give you a loan of 1 million, you project them to earn, let's say, 100,000 in terms of the interest to the full term of the loan. And because you have sort of like defaulted on that covenant, then you are saying we charge you a 5% on top up. And I think the cooperative officer has given a guidance that we charge.
Members, can we have some order, please? Let's be quiet and listen.
The cooperative has given a guidance that instead of charging on the top up, we charge on the balance, because the balance is the one that we have forgone. It's the one that the Sacco has not had an opportunity to earn interest on. And now that you are paying over 50% of the loan, of course the balance will be always less than the top up. Yes, Ndogo?
Sorry, talking too much because I'm in this mess. I think when you give me the first loan, probably by the time I finish paying, you have gotten 100,000. Now I pay first half of the loan, and the half is remaining, and I've taken a loan from you again of 100,000, having paid 50. See, it's the same loan I'm going to be paying the interest. I'll be paying the same interest of the 50,000 that you're paying for me. It's only that actually you have handed me 50,000. Because I'm paying the interest of the new loan that you have given me. It's like you are charging me twice. Over and above what you have to get. That's my understanding. Unless you make me understand.
Okay, let me try to jump in. You're given 100,000 to pay for 1 year. 2022, where is the camera? Where is the stage? 2022, January to 2022, December. Expected earned interest is, let's say, 10,000, right? So if you pay faithfully for 12 months, we get 10,000 earned interest to the Sacco. That will speak to you in terms of dividends later. Note that. Now you come after 4 months, you want now to increase or borrow maybe, let's say, 30,000. Again, let's say we'll be, by then maybe May or June, you will have denied us a chance to have collected the total amount by the end of the year. Then again, we move further periods. And therefore, we interfered with the expected interest to be earned for the Sacco of 10,000. The other option is that then you remain faithfully for the full tenor, don't borrow any on that. As a business, it is viable because also here to make money and give you dividends. Today, someone having 900,000 of 80% of it, how much is that? Almost 80% of 900 is what? Some good money, the highest saver will take home today, this evening. And therefore, when we come in between here again also, we also spreading risk in a Songa with the depositor's money, whether we could have given Jeff this money and make money for the Sacco. Are we making sense? I hope to stop there.
So I hope to go you guided.
Okay, now the other one asked me a question. Where was our way?
Okay, I wish to comment on that issue, and I was thinking that the guidance from the cooperative officer would be more fairer, because I will not really understand why you're charging me the 5% on money that I've not even received. But if you charge me on the balance that we assume that the SACCO is paying for me so that I'm like debt-free, then it's like I'm taking a new loan of which I'll start paying now for.
Thanks. We have said, you have been guided, so you will charge on the balance of the loan, not on the top up.
On the 5%, the lump sum deposit company can use the loan. Is there, Priska is always a joking and someone else. This is not very clear because we are assuming
Dogo?
I wanted to ask a question from that.
Okay.
check. Yes, Morioki.
Thank you for the clarification that has been done. And this is why we probably came for the meeting, so that such things, when they happen, we can be able to understand them. My other query that I would have wanted to ask probably the management when it comes to issuing money is the 5% you get when one brings, that's the top up, like you are talking, lump sum, correct? Yes, the 5% that you charge. I was wondering, me, Morioki, who have been paying probably a loan of 20,000 a month, and then when I am not able to be doing any savings, simply because I'm paying the loan, and I have finished the loan almost immediately, and I put the money, more money, probably 50, 60, 20,000 or something, and then in probably 2-3 months before the time you talk about expires, I want the loan. You charge me the 5% on the money that I've done, the lump sum that I've deposited, 5%. Now, personally, I cannot understand, because the reason why I was not saving is because I was paying the loan. I need to be guided on that. That is one. Two, there are people who come in, probably they have not been saving anything, but all of a sudden they feel they want money. They have not been paying anything. They bring probably around some of 300, 400,000. You will take your 5% from that money, and then this person gets the money, and then it is like he had borrowed some money from somewhere. He brings in the money, he gets 400,000, you give him 3 times of that. This person is able to convince the other members, and then the loan is signed. You as the management, how are you protecting we who probably do not know what is going on, or rather this person, we might assume we know him because we are in a church setup. We sign the loan, and you give him, and you, knowing this person have not been depositing any money, he has not been saving anything, and you end up giving him the loan. Then the person goes, probably prepares the money, and he goes completely, and then you recover money from us. I'm wondering, are you doing anything on that so that we be able to protect we as members, your members? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. But I wanted to. I take what you are saying, Ndoko, but before we comment on that, we hand the issue on the top up as part of the agenda. Whatever you are listening, because these are recorded meetings, we need to move to A and B. So we consider them as A and B in terms of the minutes recording. Yeah. Now, I'm going to address that. I think there is a policy for you to take a loan that you should be a consistent member with the Sacco for like 6 months. And I want to take your scenario that you have given out that you are not able to pay loan. Then of course you are not saving. Then once you clear the loan, then you want to put a lump sum and come for the loan. Of course, what is your intention? Is your intention to save the Sacco, or is your intention to take the loan? If you look your history for the last 6 months, 3 months, what is your intention as a member? Maybe once the team that evaluates the loan, they don't feel that your intention was not to save. Your intention was to take the loan. And that's why we're charging a 5% a commission on lump sum. Otherwise, if you save and perhaps have your money stay with us for 3 months, of course we won't bother to charge you.
Cargo queue. You could apply for the loan, it says in a queue for sometimes. And to avoid that, we wanted to make it sure that there is a well-coordinated event. We do not have this kind of erratic savings. Someone saves 1,000, I mean 1,500, then the 7th month now he brings 200,000. In fact, no, 500,000 to get the maximum of 1.5 million. What have you done to the faithful saver who wants 200,000, 300,000? So to have some sanity around it, not to discourage, but to have some form of how we are working, that we're not inconveniencing anywhere. And so we say we're not giving money, but you can maybe save, wait for 3 months. Within 3 months, we'll have made money with your funds. And so we believe if you give money, then you'll be good to go. So you can imagine 3 people, each in the morning bring 500,000, that will be 4.5 million. The cash flow is not consuming to tax people they are looking for. So just make some measures and control in place. Then we say, put money, wait for 3 months. Then it will have given us a view of what is expected in the rest like 1 month. And so nowadays I believe no one applies for the loan and it sits for a week or so. In fact, even 1 week, 1 day, 2 days, you should be able to get the money. Management meets every Wednesday. So if your loan is made on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have your check. Is it true, members? So kindly, so we are putting this one now to make sure even tomorrow people who shall come after us, they will find a good solid foundation. That's it's clear. Apollo, you can close the issue and move on. Or the next. Okay. There's someone on the.
You're being guided that perhaps as opposed to discussing these issues, we take them on board. Then you can decide whether to do an election day for the members, because of course they're addressing to the concerns of the members, as opposed to turning the AGM to discussing those pertinent issues. Yeah. So unless there's A or B, So, Orada, you are taking AOB? Someone online?
We are taking AOBs, and as we do that, we have Madam Susan. She's also from the cooperative office. She did not have time to greet us, so she's going to greet us, and maybe if there is anything Weluga has left out, she's going to clear it so that we come to the end of our AGM. So, Madam, please. There's someone online? What's the question? She'll answer us, she'll greet us.
Hello everyone. I'm Susan Kerubo, Corporate Officer. I work with Madam Werunga. She's my colleague. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. We are coming to the end of our AGM, but there is a question. Can we have that question so that we close up the meeting? As I continue taking AOBs, members, I'll start from here. NAOB Chair, Mr. Polo, NAOB, Tugitonga, AOB, next. People seated back there, NAOB, as we wait for the questions to be written down. Any other AOB from the members present here? Yes? Any other AOB? Online, any AOB there? Kindly, because you need to record. So what do we do with that member online and under question? Sorry?
In the next AGM, let us not forget virtual attendees. Let us keep checking on the hands raised for comments or questions.
Noted. Anything else from the people online? Okay, thank you so much. I believe we are coming to the end of our meeting. The management, you've been requesting that you meet within 7 days and constitute the office in presence of the cooperative officer. So, Chair, kindly take note on that. Within 7 days, constitute the office. So, members, I just want to thank you so much for taking time to attend this annual general meeting for the Ameka Sacco 2022. Your presence is very important because you know where your money is in safe hands, you have time to ask questions, and we really appreciate your attendance. Those that have attended online, thank you so much for creating time to be in the meeting. I believe we have new members that have joined the Ameka Sacco, and we'll plan an education day very soon so that the many questions that we have, we can be educated by the education team. Therefore, I want to ask Penina to come and say a word of prayer to us as we end our NGM today. Thank you. Praise God. Let us all arise for a word of prayer. Father, in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ, and before thy presence this evening, Lord, we want to thank you and to worship you. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for the will be night from morning till now. Give all the glory, give all the honor, Heavenly Father. Thank you, Heavenly Father, even for seeing us through our AGM. It has gone all well to the glory and honor of your name. We want to thank you for each and every member that is here, Lord. When you make it physically, them that are online, Heavenly Father, we pray that may you bless us the same in a special way, dear Lord. Thank you, Heavenly Father, even for the time that we've given to this meeting, our Father. I know it is for the better of this circle, dear Lord. May we put an image to each and every person that has come here, God, that even God, even the management, we want to pray for them. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving them time, even as when they sit and deliberate on issues concerning the circle. I will pray, God Almighty, that we shall continue guiding them and leading them, God, on how to take this circle into great heights. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for our children, wherever they are. Bless them, guide them, our families, dear Lord. We want to thank you, Lord. Even as we continue being as a family, Lord, I will pray, God Almighty, that we shall be guided of you. We want to thank you, we want to worship you. Now, Heavenly Father, even as we want to depart, that we depart us spiritually. You depart us bodily, but spiritually, let us be guided and guided of you. We want to thank you, to bless you for this, to pray in Jesus' name. And may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. I kindly request the management team, both the outgoing and the incoming, we have a minute, kindly, as the members walk out, so that we agree when we are going to have our meeting. Thank you so much, members. May you have a blessed time, and remember to save with Ameka Sacco. Grow your savings and be blessed. Thank you.